Well, g'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are doing another cooking video. I'm going to use that spinach that I picked out of the garden and going to make up a little quiche. Alright, no further ado, let's get on with the cooking. Okay, we're going to start by making our own pastry. Nice simple pastry. 2 cups of flour. Good pinch of salt, about 3/4 cup of butter, and you just want a nice chilled butter, and I've just cubed that up. So the secret here is to keep everything nice and cold as you go along. Okay, we just turn the food processor on and we just want to get the butter and the flour to go breadcrumb like. Now, doing this by hand, you'd be doing a rubbing method. Okay, next we're going to add in an egg. And also 1 tablespoon of nice cold water. Again, like I said, the secret is to keep everything nice and cold in this pastry. Now, we're just going to turn on the food processor again and we want to combine everything, bring it all together. And there we got our dough starting to form. Just get any flour off. Okay, move the base out of the way. Turn all that out. Put the blades back in so we can't hurt ourselves. Alright, now it's just a gentle knead to bring it together. You don't want to knead it too much or you'll develop gluten in it. And if you develop gluten, that's when it's going to be hard to roll out. So just grab up all of those little bits and pieces. Press them in. I'm just making sure everything's incorporated. Okay, there's our dough brought together. Okay, so that's just the basic food processor short crust. This will keep for a couple days in the fridge, so you can make it a couple days beforehand. We're just going to put it back in the fridge, let it cool off while we get everything else prepared. So again, we want it nice and cold throughout the process. So in the fridge it goes. Okay, there's a dough. It is rested down. Now I've actually let it warm back up a little bit. It's still cool, just so it doesn't tear apart too much. Because it is a very short pastry, it will knead back together pretty well. But where we can, we want to try and avoid the tearing. Okay, so we take one of our sheets of baking paper off. It's just easier to roll it between the baking paper. Both side. Just lay it over in our flan case. Take that sheet off. Okay, just lift and press down as you lift. So you're just trying to get it right into the corners of the flan case. By working your way around, you hope to stop it tearing. And grab our rolling pin. All right. Now we'll save one of these because that will get the weight on it when we blind bake it. Now I know that one's hard for the American accents, because don't ask me again what I was talking about. Blind baking is putting it in with nothing in it, just putting some weight on it. You can use rice or pie weights. I happen to have pie weights, so I'll put it in with the pie weights and just cook it without. And that's the first stage of the cooking. So I'll put this back in the fridge for 30 minutes, let that cool. While that's cooling, I will prepare all the filling. Okay, I'm just using red salad onion for this. I find it's a nice mild onion. I don't want anything too overpowering in taste. Just dicing it up. Okay, a bunch of our lovely fresh spinach from the garden. I'll just layer the leaves together. Split it up the middle. Okay, and I'm not going to use the stalks on this one because it's a quiche. I want it to be fairly delicate. Stalks can then go on to be used for a stock or something like that. There's our nice cut up spinach, ready to go. Okay, last up is our bacon. So I've got 3 rashers of bacon here. And that one can go in with our onions because I'm going to give them the same cook time, whereas the spinach is going to take a bit more cook time. Alright folks, here we are, all chilled down. So just put our pie weights in there. That'll help to stop any bubbling. And we will put it in the oven. Now the oven's set at 190 Celsius, which is about 375 Fahrenheit. Okay, this pan's got a little bit of bacon grease in it from last time I cooked bacon, which wasn't that long ago. Alright, just add a little bit of olive oil to that, just so we got enough oil to get everything lubricated. Okay, in with our bacon and onion. Want to season it at this stage. So a little bit of salt, and that will stop the onion burning as well. Some pepper. Okay, and though not traditional, I'll also add some oregano in at this stage. I love oregano to go with anything eggy flavoured. Okay, and we'll leave that cook for a bit, and we want to cook some of the fat out of the bacon and render down the onion a little bit. So back with you shortly. Okay, all that has cooked down, looking great. Now the last thing I'm gonna add, just a bit of garlic. I don't like to put the garlic in too early if I'm using a powder form or something like that, because it's gonna end up burning. So powder form I put in later in the cooking process. Alright, so we've got some nice colour there. I'm just gonna put our spinach in. Give all that a mix up and let it wilt down. Just make sure it's mixed in with all the bacon and the onion and all that goodness. We want to try and time this so when the pastry's finished, it's blind baked, that this is ready to go in. So that's starting to look now good. Now I'll just turn the temperature down, we'll leave that, and we'll go work on the egg filling. Okay, so for the egg filling, need 3/4 cup of cream, half a cup of milk, gives me 1.25 cups in total. And I'm going to go with 5 eggs in it. A little bit of a tip, if you get a piece of shell drop in, the perfect thing to get it out with is the eggshell. Try and pick it up with your fingers, you'll never get it. But if you use the eggshell, you can catch it. Cream of milk in there. Okay, and we just whisk that up. There we go. And that cream just helps to make it nice and thick and luscious. Okay, there we are, finished with blind baking. Grab the pie weights out. Lay it back in a little box, leave the lid off, let it cool. There's our filling. Scrape all that in, spread it around, make sure there's plenty of spinach, bacon and onion everywhere. Just want it nice and sort of even. Okay, next about 1/3, half cup of cheese, just sprinkle that on. Now lastly we need to pour in this. What I'm going to do is I'll actually put it on the tray in the oven and then pour it on in there. So yeah, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show it, but I just find it easier to do that rather than trying to carry it across with it filled with the liquid. So I'll go do that and we're going to bake it for 30 minutes or until golden brown on top, and I'll see you back shortly. Okay, there we are out of the oven. Now it needs to cool a bit before we get into it. I just generally use the coffee cup so I can take the outer ring of the flan off. It helps it to cool a little bit. Always make sure that you put a tray underneath, because you can get a bit of overflow like I've had, and that way it drips down onto the tray rather than drip it into the oven. Alright, so we'll let this cool a bit, and then we'll take the base off it and be back to try it shortly. Alright folks, there we go. Still slightly warm, but alright, there is our lovely quiche. So, of course, we need to try it. As you can see, it's all full of beautiful spinach, bacon, cheese, egg, yum. Alright, and what does it taste like? Really delicious. Really, really delicious. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that little bell notification, so not only do you get to see these cooking videos, you get to see the gardening videos that led to the cooking video. You get to know whenever I've got another video coming out. Again, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.